So what I've put up on the screen right now is the current boundaries. And I showed this to you last time I came. And I just wanted to sort of refresh all of our memories, what the current commission districts look like. So you'll see the district number, and then the number underneath that is the percent deviation from the ideal population of each district. And if you'll recall, the ideal population of each district is 135,289. And our challenge really is in District 4, which has experienced the most growth over the last decade and needs to get a little smaller, and the other districts need to get a little bigger. And so, Madam Chair, before I go on, how would you like me to structure this? I can go through all of the map concepts all at once, or I can go through one and stop and get a reaction. What works best for you?
Yeah, I think go through all of them. And then we'll see if there's any comments or questions.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I am going to pull up what we're calling Concept A. And this is a status quo plan. It's a least change plan. And the goal here is really just to equalize the population across districts with the smallest changes to existing districts as possible. So you can sort of see here, just to start, most of the districts look exactly the same as in the previous map. So just for ease of our discussion, I'm going to turn on the old district boundaries. So the old boundaries are in blue. The new proposed boundaries under Concept A are in yellow here. So I'll just really quickly go through and highlight where the changes are. So first of all, we were able to, because of the precinct splits that you all passed at your last meeting, we were able to hold the line between District 1 and District 4 along Paseo del Norte, rather than coming down and doing a sort of zigzag through the North Valley. We've done this in all of the plans, just because it's nice to have straight lines and to have district lines along a thoroughfare. We did the same thing here. This precinct was split and this precinct was split, which allowed us to be able to hold the line along I-25 here between districts 1 and 3. So in general, those are the only changes to District 1. District 2, we straightened this line out right here along I-25 between District 2 and District 3. Only these two precincts were affected there in Concept A. The big sort of change, and again, remember we had to take some population out of District 4. And the way we did that under Concept A was we took this neighborhood, and this is just south of Tanawon. So this is the Tanawon precincts here. This is Eubank, Academy, and Tramway. And so we just bumped District 5 out into District 4 just a little bit. The other thing that Concept A does is the boundary between District 3 and District 5, which really just sort of straightens out the line here. And I'm going to move this so you can see the bottom. So rather than sort of zigzagging all around, we took it straight. This is Osuna, down Pennsylvania to Indian School, and then straight down Eubank to the existing boundary here on the south side of District 5. So that is Concept A, again, a least change plan. This retains both of the current Hispanic voting age population majority districts in District 1 and District 2, and all of the districts are within the ±5 population deviation. So that's Concept A. I'll pull up Concept B, which is another least change plan. It's just a little bit different. So I'm again, the new boundaries, the proposed boundaries under Concept B are the yellow. I'll turn on the blue. So again, we straightened out this line along Paseo, along I-25. We again took that little slice of population just south of Tanawon between Eubank and Tramway into District 5 from District 4. The difference in this concept is the boundaries between District 3 and District 5. And what we did here is we just straightened out this line by continuing down Louisiana going down Indian School, and then to Eubank. And the rest of the boundaries are all the same. And again, we've got really small population deviations. We're retaining those majority Hispanic districts over here on the west side. And that's concept B. And then the final concept I'll show this evening is concept C. And this one is a little bit different. The goal of concept C was to create, was to pull the South Broadway neighborhood into District 3. And then the secondary objective of this plan was to, again, not change the boundaries of existing districts as much as possible. So again, these are the new boundaries under concept C. I'll turn on the old boundaries so you can see the differences. So here's the South Broadway neighborhood. And so to pull that into District 3, we essentially brought all of the precincts from this is Central Avenue to Rio Bravo from District 2 into District 3. And then to account for that population loss in District 2 picks up Tahajali out here, picks up Kirtland Air Force Base, and picks up just a handful of precincts here between I-40 and Central. And this is west of Unser. So takes that from District 1. So then District 1 has lost a little population. And where we took that was just a few precincts. We just sort of pushed this boundary that was originally along I-25. We pushed that east to Louisiana between Osuna and Montgomery. District 4 then picks up a couple additional precincts between Louisiana and Pennsylvania, south of Osuna. And this is the Arroyo del Oso golf course, just to sort of orient you to where we are. And the only other changes are, between District 3 and District 5. This boundary is the same as the proposed boundary from Concept A, just straightening out that line along Pennsylvania and Eubank. So, Madam Chair, those are the concepts that we have prepared for you for this evening. And I'm happy to stand for questions or feedback.
Okay, thank you. Good. Thanks. Now I can see everybody. Are there any, actually before we go to any questions or comments, I just want to be clear about this because I've had people emailing me. So we are not voting on anything tonight. And this process, it feels like it's just at the beginning of looking at different maps. And I think we're sort of in the middle of every commissioner meeting individually with you, Brittany, and also Brian Sanderoff, and research and polling, looking at those maps, moving things around. So we're still, fairly at the beginning of this. So people have a lot of, the general public, our constituents, have a great opportunity to send in public comments over our website. We have a dedicated page on the county manager's webpage called Redistricting, where people can type in their comments or call in their comments, and they will be transcribed verbatim. And so we will not be actually voting on this until December to actually adopt a new map. So I just wanted to put that out there so that people won't be, on the edge of their seat to see which one we're going to pick tonight. We're not going to pick one tonight. So,
and Madam Chair, thank you. I'd also like to mention that we're happy to make revisions to any of these plans as we go. These are not the three choices that you have also. So these are just sort of to get the conversation rolling, and it may end up very different by the end or exactly the same. So we'll see.
Thank you so much for clarifying that. Commissioner Benson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Ms. Brittany Poss, for this information and for all your help with this. And I just want to recognize I've had several constituents reach out to me, recognizing that my district has to shrink now because it did grow so much. And they've reached out saying they don't want to leave this district. So I just want to recognize that and let them know that we're trying to do this as fairly and straightforward as we can, and that and that we're all trying to keep our communities intact. At least the commissioners I've spoken with, and research and polling is really helping with that. So appreciate everybody reaching out. Continue to do so. I'd love to hear any input you have on ideas for these changes. And then in the meantime, I just know that we're putting a lot of good effort towards the process.
Thanks. Commissioner Casada.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to also make a quick statement that, I'm also going to be meeting with all the elected officials that are in my district, senators, representatives, to listen to their input and listen to, what their thoughts are as we move forward. We're doing this early so we can, make those meetings, organize those, although it doesn't really affect them, it does affect them because, this is Bernalillo County and this is where within they represent. So I just, I'm just, letting everybody know, and the elected officials who may be watching this meeting, that I am we're gonna, once we get what maps we're actually going to be really looking at, then I'll sit down with them and also not only our constituents' feedback, but also our other elected officials' feedback. So, we're going to do our due process the best we possibly can to make sure we're making the right decisions as we move forward, because this is a 10-year decision. We won't be able to change this again for another 10 years. After the next census. So, we want to make sure that, we have all the stakeholders, ideas and opinions and input. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other questions or comments? Commissioner O'Malley.
Thank you. And it was very helpful to meet with a consultant. I really appreciate that. There, obviously, it's and I think probably, I don't know, but most of us feel this way, but I think so. It's just kind of like trying to keep as much as possible the status quo, because we don't have to really, it doesn't have to be altered that much to achieve those particular percentages, which I think is good. And I'll just say this, I think it's very important for me anyway, for my district, that we do keep that Hispanic majority in District 1. Thank you.
Thanks. Commissioner Barboa.
Yes, I too want to just thank Brittany Paz for meeting with me, helping me understand this a little better. And I too, I like my district, and we talked a little bit just in all transparency, I do. And I also talked to Commissioner Quesada about, just wanting, I feel my district, the southeast part of Albuquerque, really also represents some of that sort of all the way down Gibson area, the Kirtland addition, which is the traditional African-American neighborhoods, and then, sort of South Broadway there, where a lot of also immigrant, South Broadway, Gibson area, our old San Jose neighborhoods. And so I'm excited to think about that, just because of the way my district has the international district and what that means for our communities. But just thanks, Brittany, for entertaining all my thoughts and ideas. And I look forward to building this. And thanks for your time.
Thanks. So Brittany, I assume that we at the county will get copies of the maps to put on our webpage so that the public can look at those and comment and send in their questions or what they'd like to see.
Yes, absolutely. I'll work with your staff to get that done as soon as we can. Yeah.
Great. I know it's a lot to take in when you show the different alternatives, and it's good to go back and be like, oh wait, okay, I see what's included, what's excluded. So thank you so much. We really appreciate all of your work on this, and the entire team. Ken Martinez has been through redistricting a few times, maybe more than a few times. And so he's been a great guide to us on just how this process goes. And I really appreciate that. Ken, did you want to say anything?
Oh, thank you very much. I think the commission's done just an excellent job with our contractor. We're really lucky to have Brittany. And of course, everybody knows Brian Sanderoff is the guru. And they're busy, so busy. And you guys were great in making the time to visit, because we have to work around the fact that the legislature is redistricting right now, everything, House, Senate, Congress. So it's a busy time. I think Bernalillo County is in a good situation because we have a very great board. The changes are fairly easy to make, and my advice usually is just to make as small changes as possible. That's the most defendable. If we would end up going to court on it, I don't think we'll end up going to court. I think it's a very collegial atmosphere, but there's certain key points that you worry about, and Brittany gave us that outline when we started, right? And so we kind of know what we're looking at, and I think it's a good process. And we do, Madam Chair, I think you set up a very good plan for how the community can become engaged and look at the maps and take a look at them and make comments on. Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, I know I love my district. I know all of us, all the commissioners, we love our districts. And so we're gonna do the best we can with our constituents' input. So thanks, I guess that's it.